Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Welcome to the East Tennessee Sports Report. I'm Roddy Woods along with Ralph Miranda, Chris the Judge Blevins, and Chris Reddick. He says he's going to come up with a new nickname because he can't be the coach this year because he's not coaching Little League football anymore. But a few new wrinkles are going on. We've got two different crews that are going to cover East Tennessee football all year long. Ralph, along with Chris the Judge and Chris Reddick, along with Scott Gallion. If you don't know who Scott Gallion is, he's Ball for Life, played for Ralph's New York Giants at one time, and the Miami Dolphins. And then we switch gears and we go up to Tri-Cities, which I will do the hosting. These two will be on the set, along with ESPN radio host Mr. Bart Lyons will be in the Tri-Cities. So make sure you check your local listings. You can go to yourhighschoolsports.com anytime and find out where we're going to be on. But we'll give that little information later on. I want to talk to this guy right here.
The new guy, huh?
The new guy. Yeah.
The new guy.
The new guy.
Right.
The new guy. Start him off right. Ralph Miranda, you know, Ralph and I go back a ways. He played football at Notre Dame during the heyday with Era.
It was a little after Era.
Little after, okay.
Right after Era, right.
But my childhood hero was there.
Joe Montana.
Oh, yeah. He's got the ring, too. They beat Alabama in the national championship. Ralph, talk a little bit about your background.
Well, you know, I grew up in Savannah, Georgia. Went to college at Notre Dame, played football there, and had a lot of great experiences on our way to a national championship. Played a lot of great football teams. Of course, those were the days when we wore leather helmets.
Oh, okay.
You know, and, it was all grass fields, you know, and the only thing that was the AstroTurf fields were like rugs. They were indoor-outdoor carpeting. They weren't those beautiful AstroTurf that you have today. So. We got a lot of turf burns, but I thoroughly enjoyed playing football. Great experience. Had a couple NFL tryouts, but had a bad knee, so I couldn't make it in the NFL. But I do want to say one thing. If I'm going to be teamed with the Judge here, and my last name's Miranda, the Miranda rights.
Right. Oh,
we're going to have a really good time this year.
You should.
I mean, we might be able to get some people straight.
You might be able to, for sure. And then Chris Reddick. Chris was here last year. Talk a little bit about things. Chris, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh, in my neck of the woods, well, I have already retired from coaching, as Roddy spoke of. I was coaching my son, and my son decided not to play ball this year. So you know what? I'm going to take a little break, but you know the good thing about that, I get to spend more time with my son to where we can actually enjoy football. I'm going to tell you something real quick about him. We were debating whether or not he's going to play, which the decision was all up to him. The day before we were going to sign up, I said, one more time, son, do you want to play football? Because he's actually going to have to move up a level. He said, yes, son. I said, why do you want to play football? Well, I like football. I said, well, that's good. I said, you know what? Fans like football, too. I said, so guess what? You don't have to play. You can still like football. He said, really? He said, yeah. Okay, well, I'm not playing football. I said, well, that's fine. We're going to enjoy football. So that's what we're going to do this year.
You know, good for you. The Judge?
Well, I'm back for a second season, so I appreciate it. We had a good time last year, and I really thought that we really covered a lot of great football last year, and we talked about a lot of good things. So I'm back this year. Of course, wearing my Tennessee orange today, so making sure we bring you a lot of other stuff other than high school football, but that's our main thing. We'll get a few little things on that. But I'm definitely excited back for a second season and to work with Ralph and Chris and Roddy. It's going to be a fun season, so you stick with us all season long. So.
Yeah.
You know, when we bring the East Tennessee Sports Report to you, you know, we touch on a lot of high school football. You know, there's some great high school football coming up. You know, there's going to be a new division. There's going to be a top 32 team, a lot of realignments with the TSSAA, a lot of people playing a lot of different teams, a lot of travel. You know, we talked when we went to the media days. That was one of the questions I kept asking people, and a lot of the teams like, well, you know, we're going up against teams we've never seen before, and you know that kind of makes things a little different this year.
Yeah, there'll be a little more travel, a little different rivalries will start to get developed. I'm not sure I like the idea of all 32 teams making the playoffs. I mean, I understand that there's money involved with the TSSAA, but I really think a team that has the potential of being 1-9 or 0-10 should not make the playoffs.
I agree.
But that's just my
exactly
opinion.
right, yeah.
I
Maybe
agree.
for another discussion.
I agree 100%. But, that's going to make some interesting matchups. Like we got a game coming up. We were talking about it early, Chris. This is Gatlinburg-Pittman versus Pigeon Forge. We'll talk later about it. But they only met for the first time. It's the first time they've ever met at the beginning of the season.
The end of the season and then to be in different divisions this year.
Yeah.
Talks about that. It's kind of different than we've ever seen. But I think starting off the season like that, oh man, I can't wait for that.
Oh, you got to be ready. Oh, you got to be
Be
ready.
ready from the get-go.
So when we come back, you stay right here on YourHighSchoolSports.com. You can go to that anytime and watch. A lot of information will be on YourHighSchoolSports.com. But we'll be right back on this East Tennessee Sports Report.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Get Greene County's only lifetime warranty on these incredible gateway deals. Buy a 15 Ford Taurus under $21,000, 15 Ford F-150 Crew Cab, save $11,000 off the sticker, 16 Ford Escape under $22,000. Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville online at gatewaydeal.com.
Get the right services you need from a name you can trust at Crescent Center Drugs. Whether it's hormone replacement therapy or if you need to update your immunizations for flu, pneumonia, or shingles, Crescent Center Drugs has a professional and friendly staff, always ready to take care of you. That's why for many years, Crescent Center Drugs has been your good neighbor pharmacy. Right now, getting your medicine is fast and easy when you sign up for the IVR system. It's simple. Once your prescription is filled, your box is scanned, and you instantly receive a phone call or text for pickup. Visit Crescent Center Drugs inside the Crescent Shopping Center.
Advantage of great deals like this new Ford Focus.
Or this new Ford Fiesta.
Your choice.
For as low as $199 a month. And don't forget about the great deals on the new Ford Fusion for as low as $249 a month.
Right in the heart of Morristown.
Gotta get to Gateway.
Get Greene County's only lifetime warranty on these incredible gateway deals. 2014 minivans like Town & Country's, Honda Odysseys, and Dodge Caravans from $19,900. Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville online at gatewaydeal.com.
Welcome back to the East Tennessee Sports Report. Ralph, let's talk about these teams. Let's get in here, guys. These are the teams we're going to be following all year long. Maryville, Alcoa, Fulton, Sevier County, Pigeon Forge, Greenville, good team up there. We had a good meeting with Coach Ballard last week. Dobbins Bennett, Science Hill, Elizabethton, Morristown East, and Morristown West. Let's talk a little bit about Maryville.
Well, Merrill's Maryville. I mean, they're loaded again. I think they beat Ensworth 35-14 in a scrimmage, and 2 years ago, Ensworth just beat the daylights out of Maryville. Maryville's going to get to the state championship game. They're probably going to win it, and I don't mean that in a cocky way. Just too much talent, but also coaching. I mean, they have such a great system there. Of course, the big game is going to be when Fulton comes to Maryville in a couple weeks. But Fulton's got a lot of athletes. I just don't know that they have the depth to stay with Maryville. I just really don't think they can do that this year. I think Maryville wins that game, probably pulling away in the second half is how I see that game.
Alcoa, same thing. You're in that market.
Alcoa is going to be Alcoa as usual. I mean, Coach Rankin complains that he doesn't have the depth that Maryville has, but every time I watch him, he's got 100 guys on the sidelines. But I think Alcoa is going to pretty much be the team to beat in their classification and their area. They just can't. They really can't compete with Maryville, except maybe every 5-6 years they have a team that usually can compete with Maryville.
Sevier County.
Oh, Sevier County. This year, Sevier County is coming back with a lot of talent. We already know one guy by the name of Deuce. Deuce is going to be loose once again. Had put up a lot of great numbers last year. And with the returning receiver that he has, my man, wore the big fro that, remember I wore?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot his name. Anyway, he's got a great guy he's going to be throwing to, and I think they're going to have fun this year. I think they're actually going to be competitive when it gets to the playoffs, and hopefully we can see him get by 2 games, maybe third round, this year. So they look pretty good.
And that guy you're trying to think of, his name is DeMonte.
There we
Matthews.
go, DeMonte Matthews. That's right.
Ralph, you had a chance to talk to them at media days. What did you think about Deuce and DeMont?
Well, I think that they certainly look the part. I mean, tremendous athletes. I mean, they look like guys that are going to be playing on Saturdays next year.
Oh, yes.
There's no question about that. The key is going to be, as Chris said, they're probably going to go through the regular season pretty well. It's the playoffs. When you face it, and I don't know if they play Maryville this year. They probably don't. I think they're
they're off this year. They're off.
But still, when you reach a team in the playoffs, third round, fourth round, that figures out how to slow down that passing game,
it's tough.
you got to be able to run the football deep in the playoffs. And
Exactly
that would
right.
be my only question with Sevier County. Can they run the football if they have to?
Now, I'm going to go a little deeper. They have a kid coming back if he gets eligible, and that is Dorian Banks. Banks had already committed to Butch 2 years ago, and he transferred last year from Sevier County to Hillsboro, and he's coming back this year. But at media time, we did not know if he was going to be eligible or not. So, if that you're talking about your running game, that will take some of the pressure off of Deuce. So that should be pretty good. Pigeon forwards.
I think Pigeon Forge is going to come back with a lot of good talent this year. Starting out, though, I'm not really sure where they're going to be at. It kind of always falls into place when we talked about that. I know Ralph was talking about coaching in Maryville. They got some good coaches up here.
Yeah, they do.
Got Laura Pittman and Pigeon Forge. So I think that comes down to that. But I definitely remember last year a lot of good games from them. Some of them were really tight. They don't play some of the talent like Maryville has, but they play a lot of good football, and I'm excited to see them. I think we'll have a good season as well.
I think Coach Meadows will too. I think he'll put a product out on the field that we've been familiar with Coach Meadows from.
Yeah, I remember Coach Meadows.
And the things that he has put out in the product, he continues to get better. His team continues to get better, and making the playoffs last year and the year before last. I think that's just going to give his team momentum. I think they'll be good. We had a chance to be up at Greenville last week and talk to Coach Kane Ballard. His team, Greenville is a team that sits up in the Northeast. They're kind of split between Knoxville and Tri-Cities. Always a good football program. They've got a lot of talent. They lost a lot of people, like he said last week, Chris. But the thing he does have, he's moved into a new class. They kick off against Anderson County. Should be a great game.
Yeah, but you know what? He has somebody that's going to be starting quarterback.
Yes.
That's a freshman who happens to be
his son.
Yes.
He wouldn't talk too much about it, so I didn't put him on the spot that much. But he did say, "Hey,
that's
good
some pressure,
kid,
though. But some pressure.
Good kid starting as a freshman."
Well, the best thing there's two ways to look at a freshman. The best thing about having a freshman start a quarterback, he's a freshman. The worst thing about it is he's a freshman.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. That's true. So we'll be right back on this edition of the East Tennessee Sports Report right after this.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Advantage of great deals like this new Ford Focus.
Or this new Ford Fiesta
Your choice.
for as low as $199 a month. And don't forget about the great deals on the new Ford Fusion for as low as $249 a month.
Right in the heart of Morristown.
Get the right services you need from a name you can trust at Crescent Center Drugs. Whether it's hormone replacement therapy or if you need to update your immunizations for flu, pneumonia, or shingles, Crescent Center Drugs has a professional and friendly staff always ready to take care of you. That's why for many years, Crescent Center Drugs has been your good neighbor pharmacy. Right now, getting your medicine is fast and easy when you sign up for the IVR system. It's simple. Once your prescription is filled, your box is scanned, and you instantly receive a phone call or text for pickup. Visit Crescent Center Drugs inside the Crescent Shopping Center.
Gotta get to Gateway.
Get Greene County's only lifetime warranty on these incredible Gateway deals. 2014 minivans like Town & Country's, Honda Odysseys, and Dodge Caravans from $19,900. Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville online at gatewaydeal.com.
Welcome back to the East Tennessee Sports Report, where you can see us each week on the Knox, WKNX, every Friday morning from 6:30 to 7, and then on WK.
APK.
Thank you, Chris.
APK.
Get it right. I'm new to this thing, okay?
Because it's a new move for us. It's a new move.
We're moving to the
We're excited,
network.
though.
We're moving to the network. So WAPK, channel 36 in the Tri-Cities, that runs Friday mornings as well, and that comes on between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8:30 every Friday morning. So catch us. Go to our website, yourhighschoolsports.com, and catch all the information. You can look it up. Ralph's great He has a great blog on there. Make sure you go by and just check us out on the web. Like us on Facebook as well.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys, let's jump back into things. Dobbins Bennett.
Dobbins Bennett. Okay, Dobbins Bennett has to play Maryville in the regular season this year.
Right.
Okay, and so does
Right.
Science Hill.
Ooh.
Here's my theory about those teams from Upper East Tennessee. Because my son's played at Maryville, and I've watched teams from Upper East Tennessee come into Maryville 12-0, 13-0, just destroying people, and Maryville makes them look silly. Now, here's my point:
You're right.
is those teams have to figure out, you can do a certain thing well, and Dobbins Bennett runs that option type offense. Okay.
Yes, they do.
I'm sorry, you have got to change it up. When it gets playoff time, whether it's Maryville, whether it's Ravenwood, whether it's Memphis East, you're going to face somebody in the playoffs that is going to shut what you do well down.
You got that right.
And they're going to say to you, hey, we're going to take that away from you, beat us with something else. So the Upper East Tennessee teams have to prove to me that they have the ability to do that.
You got that right. And Graham Clark will always put a good product on the field.
He will, no question.
They will, but they're in that top 32.
And if they want to get to that top one,
they got to get past Maryville. Yeah.
Now we caught up with Coach Stacy Carter at Science Hill. He lost a lot of kids last year. Chris.
Oh, but my goodness, he's got a lot of kids. Did you see all the talent he had on the field?
A lot of talent coming back. They had their number one quarterback. We interviewed him last week. He was their number one running back last year.
Yes, and he could have been a starter last year, but they had, my goodness.
Malik.
Malik Magoo. My goodness.
Just a lot of good football, like Ralph said. This is going to be an interesting year because of that top 32 teams.
Yes, it is.
Then we went over and visited with Sean Witten, Jason's brother. If you don't know that, Sean Witten is the coach of Elizabethton Cyclone. Big brother to Jason Witten that plays for the Dallas Cowboys. So, a little bit of history there for you guys. But Elizabethton, Mr. Ethan Thomas is gone.
He's gone. But you know what? Like I was telling you earlier before the show started, they're deep at running back. They had two guys they could have easily started last year without Ethan, but I know no one can replace someone like an Ethan Thomas. He was one of the best running backs in the state, but they do have two good running backs that are going to be sharing time and will get the job done this year. So I don't think they're going to be really tested there. It's just really going to be tested. They're coming big on the line, but the line's a little experienced. So if these big guys can get through this year and improve themselves, Elizabeth could be somebody that could get to maybe 3. I don't know about, maybe 4, but I know at least third round.
Sounds good to me. Chris, I'm going to throw it to you. Morristown East and Morristown West.
Morristown East, they're coming off a pretty good season last year. A lot of injuries late in the year. They lost that final game in the playoffs. They haven't got over the hump yet. They get to the playoffs. Coach Wells got them there twice, and they lose. I think it comes back to a lot of coaching. I'm going back to that a lot. I've heard Ralph talk about it with Maryville, but that's how you win in high school. You got to have coaching. You got to be able to take away something. They got to the playoffs. They couldn't do that.
Right.
They got beat deep, and they got hurt, and then it was over. Morristown West will come back strong again. They got a lot of great talent. I can't remember the kid's name at quarterback, but they definitely have some talent at quarterback. I talked to one of the coaches down there, Bubba White. He's definitely in there. I've talked to him a few times. He's got a big outlook on this season, so I'm definitely thinking the East and Morristown region should come out pretty well, but the first round of the playoffs is where we get past.
Yeah, that's where it counts. That's where it counts.
And I know the measuring stick, as Ralph says, is Maryville, and we got to cover him a lot, and I know he had a son that played there, so that is the measuring stick in East Tennessee and the state of Tennessee.
No question.
So if you want to get there, you got to go past. You got to get there. But the thing about it is, there's a lot of great football teams in East Tennessee. If I had to pick a region in Tennessee, I would take East Tennessee over Middle and West. 99% of the time.
No question.
Yeah.
So
how many championships did we get last year from this area?
You got
3 or 4. I think.
About 3 or 4.
Maryville,
West, Maryville,
Fulton.
That's right.
Didn't CAK didn't win it, but we know 3 for sure. I think there might have even been a 4th that I'm missing.
One of the private schools.
Webb.
Yeah.
So right there, that speaks volumes of football in East Tennessee. So make sure you stay right here on the East Tennessee Sports Report. We'll be right back. We got some good things to talk about. East Tennessee State University coming back after 12 years of football, and Chris is. You got to talk about UT. So we'll be right back on the East Tennessee Sports Report right after this.
Advantage of great deals like this new Ford Focus.
Or this new Ford Fiesta.
Your choice.
For as low as $199 a month. And don't forget about the great deals on the new Ford Fusion for as low as $249 a month.
Right in the heart of Morristown.
Get the right services you need from a name you can trust at Crescent Center Drugs. Whether it's hormone replacement therapy or if you need to update your immunizations for flu, pneumonia, or shingles, Crescent Center Drugs has a professional and friendly staff always ready to take care of you. That's why for many years, Crescent Center Drugs has been your good neighbor pharmacy. Right now, getting your medicine is fast and easy when you sign up for the IVR system. It's simple. Once your prescription is filled, your box is scanned, and you instantly receive a phone call or text for pickup. Visit Crescent Center Drugs inside the Crescent Shopping Center.
Gotta get to Gateway.
Get Greene County's only lifetime warranty on these incredible Gateway deals. 2014 minivans like Town & Country's, Honda Odysseys, and Dodge Caravans from $19,900. Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville, online at gatewaydeal.com.
Welcome back to the East Tennessee Sports Report. I'm Roddy Woods. Now Chris Blevins, along with Ralph Miranda and Chris Reddick. Chris, you're going to take it away and talk about UT a little bit.
Well, we had the open practice on Saturday I went to, and I thought it was very powerful to see some of those big guys out there. I was talking about Khalil McKenzie out there. It's a big man. But I saw a lot of good things. I mean, the quarterback, Dobbs, looks very proficient, and looks like he's worked a lot this summer. He looked a lot bigger as well. I liked his passing. I liked his demeanor out in the field. I think Coach Jones has got him somewhere we need to be. There's a lot of hype around Tennessee football. But coming on September 5th when we go down there to LP Field and we're going to see Bowling Green, we'll get to see a little more of it. Then we're going to play Oklahoma in the second week. So we're going to get tested early. But we're going to see a lot. But I thought, getting Vaughn back was a big thing for the team.
Yes.
I also saw Kamara, that transfer we just got in at running back. We got a lot of talent, a lot of positions. We still don't have a ton of depth. I think we're still a couple injuries away from being kind of weak at some positions. But I think he's done an excellent job of getting some really good talent in there, and I think we're all going to be excited to watch him this year. So it'll be fun to talk about throughout the season. So
prediction, Judge? What's your prediction as far as the season? How are they going to?
I think we're going to get over the hump at 7-6. I don't think they're going to go. What they're talking about.
Ralph's looking at you a little different than what we got, Ralph.
We can talk on set. Yeah, to get that 8 wins is going to be tough.
I also believe that too.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get past it, but I think it is going to be tough. But I think it's all going to start at the beginning of the season. Once we get to Oklahoma, I think that's going to set the pace for the season.
Yeah, I hope so.
East Tennessee State, just touch on
ETSU. We got a local kid, Sexton kid from Seymour, that actually may get a chance to start at quarterback. So a lot of big things happen at ETSU. So just stay tuned and we'll tell you more about it.
And they kick off against Kennesaw State on September 3rd. Get out. Kind of sold out already. So
yeah, sold out of the first week and also homecoming.
And an interesting sidelight to East Tennessee State, their wide receiver and recruiting coordinator coach was the head football coach at Maryville College last year.
Yes, he was.
And they play Maryville College this year. So it should be a very interesting matchup for that one.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard a roundtable discussion here on the East Tennessee Sports Report. We talked about some of the high schools. We talked about college. We talked about Ralph playing for Notre Dame. We talked a lot about things, but let me tell you a few things about what you need to do. You need to come by Gondolier Restaurant in Sevierville. Now, post-game, pre-game. Stop by. They've got great food, guys. They'll test for it.
I don't see my cheesecake, Roddy.
New York style cheesecake.
We'll get you cheesecake.
We'll get you something, Chris.
Is that your new nickname? Cheesecake.
Good deal.
I'm going to reveal it next week what my nickname is. But that's a good one.
A lot of good things happening here, guys. We'll be on location, okay? This show will be on location. Next week, we'll be at Mullins Auto Center in Elizabethton for the big game between Elizabethton and Science Hill. So tune in. Remember a couple of places you can catch us. You can catch us in the Knoxville market on WKNX, the Knox, that comes on at 6:30 in the morning. So rise early, catch the worm. It's from 6:30 to 7. And in the Tri-Cities area on My Tri-Cities, WAPK, that will run from 8 to 8:30. It's been a pleasure, guys. I look forward to this. It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun. Make sure you go to our website, yourhighschoolsports.com. All kinds of things. Ralph's blog, Chris' blog, Blevins' blog. I don't blog, so make sure you just go on there and look and see and like us on Facebook. For the East Tennessee Sports Report, I'm Roddy Woods. For Ralph Miranda, for Chris Blevins and Chris Reddick, we'll see you next week at Mullins in the Tri-Cities.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
When you got that kind of
One special quality I've noticed about you on the field is you're not just one that runs and eludes and punishes what you're running. You're also a dominant blocker. Okay, I play this play over and over, and what has happened, Ethan, in this play? That's why he's laughing, because you were able to, because I'm trying to teach my son the pancake block to be able to, hit hard enough to put the guy on the ground. You did it not just once in the game. You did it twice on the same play.
I never thought I'd get into the car business or work with my dad, but some things you just shouldn't pass up, like our carefree car deal with upfront pricing below the factory invoice and our lifetime powertrain warranty. You've just got to get to Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville, online at gatewaydeal.com.
Get Greene County's only lifetime warranty on these incredible Gateway deals. Buy a 15 Ford Taurus under $21,000, 15 Ford F-150 Crew Cab, save $11,000 off the sticker, 16 Ford Escape under $22,000. Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville, online at gatewaydeal.com.
That's how we roll. That's how we roll.